Hi, this is an overview of S4 at the Beach for our faculty members who are teaching the internship classes for health science. This is the home page that you will see once you log into S4 at the Beach. In this example, we're using a test faculty member named Frank Faculty, and he will be teaching a test course with a test student placed at a test site. So please keep that in mind that all of these are not actual people or places. This is your home page. Please take some time when you first log in to become familiar with what this has to say. But generally, when you log in, you're going to scroll to the bottom and work from the Manage Your Courses link. This will show all the courses that you are teaching, or have taught that are connected with S4 at the Beach. So it won't be all of your classes, but if you teach classes that are internships that use S4 at the Beach, you'll see them here. We're going to be working with the Test 100 class in winter. There's several actions you can take directly from this location. You can select sites or view your course. You can also view your course by clicking on the test name. So here's the course itself. You see Sally student is enrolled. In your courses, obviously, you will see many more students listed here, but in this case, we just have the one student. As faculty, there's a few things that you can do. Obviously, on this page, you can see the students in your class, whether or not they've logged in recently, which forms they've completed, and where, if any, they have been placed in S4. If you go to student forms, that's going to show you which forms that they've completed and which they have not yet completed. So this is useful, again, in tracking and making sure everything's working and progressing smoothly. Sally has completed the release of liability, acknowledgement of risk, and she has initiated the preceptor agreement initiation form. When I say initiated, this form is a two-part form. The first half the student completes, and that sends, when she or he submits that, it sends an email with a link to the second half of the form to their preceptor. So in this case, that you see a red statement that says 0 of 1 completed. That means that the supplement has not yet been, or the second portion of the form has not yet been completed by the preceptor. Once they complete and submit it, that will change to a green font, and it'll say 1 of 1 completed. So you'll want to see that turn green. If it's not turning green, then you or the student may want to follow up with the preceptor to make sure that they saw and received the form, that it didn't go into their junk mail or just get lost in their mail, and so they could follow up. Those that are in this gray font, light gray font, those have not yet been completed. So as you look, you'll be able to see where each of your students are in terms of completing the appropriate forms. Second area is student report. This gives you a report of where students are placed, who their preceptors are, and how many hours they've reported so far. This is great, again, in monitoring the progress your students are making with their internship. Make sure that they actually complete or are on track to complete the 120 hours that they need to complete by the end of the semester. Now, if you see a student who, say in mid-November, has only 10 or so 20 hours, you can follow up with them and say, Sally, you've only got 20 hours, we only have a few weeks left. Is it that you simply haven't logged your hours into the time log, which we hope was the case, or if she, for some reason, has not been completing any hours at all with that placement. So by encouraging your students to complete those logs and maintain those logs after, each shift, you're going to have a better sense of where they are and be able to support them in being successful ultimately by the end of the semester. Now, going back to the course page, excuse me, you can, if you so choose to identify specific program sites, you can do that by selecting the Select or Delete Program Sites button, and then I'll just do that real quickly. You would simply look through the sites and identify which ones you want to add, or if you decide you have one added and you want to remove it, you can remove those also. Once you've done all that, you just simply click I'm done adding sites to this course, and that's that. Now, with health science, the students are choosing their own sites, so you'll want to make sure that this checkbox is not checked. If you check this box, then they can only choose the sites that you have listed here. If you do that, you want to click Update, but you more than likely want to keep that unchecked and and allow them to have a broader range of placements to choose from. In a separate, I'll be separately showing you the student process themselves of how they go through placing in S4, but just to see what you can see once they've done that, you can look at the time log itself or the placement details. For the time log, you will see what they have entered so far. There should be multiple entries. We just have one here, but it shows what they accomplished briefly, what outcomes, learning outcomes they addressed during that particular shift, and this is an entry on helping them to connect what they're doing with the mission and goals of the organization. It also shows the status. This one shows submitted. That means that Sally's student has requested the preceptor to review and approve her hours. Once that occurs, this will change to approved. Here the total hours are those that have been submitted or entered, and then the approved hours. So right now it's 0 approved hours. Once this is approved, it'll show 4 approved hours. Finally, if you want to view the placement itself of an individual student, you can click on that placement. It shows you the basic information of the placement and the forms themselves. If you need to review those forms, you can review them here, and it says view submission, and you could see what they said on this form. So that's our overview. If please make sure to take a look at the other video that we'll do that shows the process that the students take in identifying their placement in S4, completing forms, and in completing their time log. Thanks.